What's up, Domination Crew? I'm Rico.
I'm Dan.
And we are Two Dudes. And today we're going to be talking about the truth when it comes to selling on Amazon. The truth about selling on Amazon, or the truth that
The hard truth.
It is a hard truth. It's what the gurus are not telling you. You know, they just preach make $1 million on Amazon and everyone's happy, you're making tons and tons and tons of money. Which is true, you're making tons of money.
Yeah.
After product costs and PPC spend and, you know, the tools that you use and all these odds and ends, you are not bringing home $1 million.
No.
You're just not. You know, you're not doing $1 million. You know, you're bringing home maybe $200,000-$300,000 if you're lucky. Maybe 200 is more reasonable. 300, kind of iffy, but doable. But I mean, that's a lot of money. I'm not saying it isn't a lot of money.
Ton.
That's a ton of money. You're making a lot of money.
But it is not $1 million.
It is not $1 million. Your business is $1 million.
Yes.
Which in turn you could go and sell that $1 million business for $1 million to the right person. And you're good. And it is $1 million.
Then you have $1 million.
Yeah, then you have $1 million. But what these gurus aren't telling you is that you're not gonna make a profit like your first month, 2, 3, maybe even 4 months, maybe even longer than that.
Maybe in your first year.
Maybe even in your first year. If your growth is explosive, day after day, week after week, month after month, like ours, like you're not making any money because every ounce of profit that you get, you're reinvesting in the business because now you're getting more sales that day. You have to reach out to your suppliers. You know, you have to place bigger orders if you're doing FBA, or you have to place more orders if you're doing if you're drop shipping. You know, so instead of getting these remotes, so let's say you're selling 5 remote controls a day, and you're like, oh, this is good, and all of a sudden, you know, you get an order for 50. You're doing 15 remotes a day. That's 3 times what you were doing. So now you have to spend 3 times the amount of money. Like, sure, that money's coming, but you have to keep up with that demand. You know, and if you don't have the money on hand, if you don't have the capital, which we preach, you better have some capital, your business is just going to eat up all your profit, you know, because now you got more for ad spend, you have more in product costs, you know, just money's going to be eaten up. Yeah,
one of the tools that we use that gives us a lot of analytics is Celix, that I did a review video on.
Shout out to Celix.
Shout out to Celix, you guys rock. That'll give you an idea, and it's one of the biggest keys in running any type of retail business like this, like e-commerce, is controlling costs. So a lot of things there's nothing technically static in this world, so a lot of things are dynamic. If you're buying stuff at a certain price today, it may not be the price tomorrow. Your ad spend, you know, you'll set a physical cap, like a daily cap, so technically that could be, but some days you don't hit that cap. So you have to look at it from the standpoint of, you know, you have your cost of goods sold, that's going to be the biggest piece of your expenses, and then you have your PPC costs if you're doing ad spend, and then you got referral fees if you're doing Amazon, you get 15% off the top, or final value fees that you have on eBay, stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you'll squeeze everything down to maybe a 25 to 30% after the fact margin. That's your profit margin. But that's not true profit, because within that you have to split it up for capital and operational expenditures. Like if you have staff, if you're paying people, stuff like that, or your tools. So like your tools that you're spending, your monthly expenses on those, that's operational expenditures. And then once you slice that up and dice it up, then you're left with a tiny piece of the pie, which is it's considered true profit. And that's the money that you can technically take from the business. But if you're growing,
not taking it, you're putting it right back into the business.
Right, the business takes priority, takes precedence, and it's going to take that money, so you're not taking money from the business.
Exactly, and unfortunately, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the listing hijackers. Some people do. Some people talk about the hijackers. I can't say everyone doesn't want to, but you will get hijackers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you will have people that just basically squat on your listing and take all your sales. And you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And then you have to reach out to Amazon, you have to reach out to the other seller. In some cases, the other seller's like, yo, I don't care about your cease and desist letter. I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna take all the money, I'm gonna take all of these sales. And then sometimes Amazon will remove that listing altogether because they're trying to determine who's the actual seller, whose product this is.
Yes.
But if you trademark, people can't sell on your listing. That's what you should do. People aren't talking about that. People aren't going to talk about trademarking. It takes a long time, anywhere from 9 to 12 months, if not longer. We're in the process.
Forever.
Yeah, we're still in the process of our trademark.
Yep.
Mind you, because we didn't know about trademarking sooner. We should have done it much sooner, but we weren't on that gravy train.
No.
Anyway, trademark. That way, people can't sit on your listing. They don't talk about competition. They talk a little bit about competition during product research, but they don't talk about the competition that comes into the market after you've launched your product.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's capitalism, people. You know, some people are going to come into the market and they're going to do it better than you. They might do it, you know, worse than you. They might do it as good as you. Case in point, PUBG and Fortnite. PUBG was the king of the battle royale, and now
who's the new?
who's the new kid on the block?
Yeah, new kid on the block.
Fortnite. Fortnite is killing PUBG, and you want to know why? You want to know how that's coming to light? The lawsuit that PUBG put against Fortnite, because Fortnite's just stomping them into the dirt. You know, so you got to worry about that. You got to worry about you know, bad listings. Like, you know, let's say you started, you know, when you first started, your listing wasn't all that great. You were getting some sales. But let's say 6 months down the line, you're selling, but you're like, I'm going to change up my listing. You change that listing up, Amazon is not going to be too happy with that. So then you could drop down to the bottom again. You can move from like the first or second page down to the 6th, 7th page. You got to worry about that. You got to worry about your suppliers disappearing overnight.
Oh yeah, that happened to us quite a bit. That happens actually more frequently than we're willing to admit, but or souring relationships with suppliers, or, you know, suppliers not shipping things.
I made
on time.
that mistake. One of our suppliers got mad at me. Just because, but you know, it was our like first experience, you know, dealing with this. I happened to jump down his throat and was like, "Look, bro, you need to ship this now."
Yeah,
and turns out he had shipped it like 30 minutes prior to me sending that nasty email.
And he got upset.
Yeah, he got upset, and he did not give us the best price.
We still do, yeah. We still do some business with him. You know, sometimes that's the way it goes. You know, there's a lot of different facets to running an e-commerce business. You know, if we're, you know, we talk a lot about Amazon because it's, you know, that's where we do most of our business, and there's a lot of facets, lots of ins, lots of outs, and
more than you know.
Yeah, and if you're selling on multiple stores, that's just compounds it. You know, like eBay has its own set of issues, and Shopify as well. You know, we talk about those sparingly, but, you know, we do business on both, and we tend to lean a little bit more towards Amazon, but, you know, it's a lot of responsibility. You know, that's the truth about selling on Amazon, is it's a lot of responsibility. Your customers lean on you to get the product to them when you say you're going to, and Amazon does the same. They put a lot of trust in you. And, you know, you got to think about it. At the end of the day, like, these people are taking money. You don't know how much they have. Like, you know, the $50 they spend on one product is maybe last $50 they had to spend on something fun before they get paid again. And you want to take care of your customers. And, you know, you're going to come across some jerks and people that treat you like crap, but you always come out, you want to, you know, take the moral high ground, and at the end of the day, make sure that you take care of your customers, because that is the people that fund you. They are the reason why you will eventually be able to own nice things and, you know, even live off of it, you know, and you cannot piss them off, and, you know, you wouldn't like that if you were the customer. So you always think of the customer first, and that is the truth.
You know, they don't talk about the nasty customers. You guys will get nasty customers. It's people that are just grumpy for no reason at all. Like, they just wake up and someone pissed in their Cheerios or something. It seems like they've been doing it for a long time. They're just angry.
Chargebacks?
Chargebacks. Like, I mean, usually the chargebacks don't happen that often, but you do get some scammy people that hit you with the chargebacks, and then you got to go to Amazon. And generally, you know, if you're doing FBA, you're not going to have to deal with that too much. You know, the FBA route seems a little easier, and in some ways it is. But in other ways, it's more complicated, because guess what? You know, if that product comes in and you can't sell it, you're just going to sit on it and have to pay storage fees and all that.
Yep. One thing that we definitely should discuss real quick is returns. So one of the things that you have to keep in mind when you're doing drop shipping is that you're probably buying from a supplier that's in a different country, like China, India, Pakistan, something along those lines. It's not going to be feasible for you, depending on what you're selling, for you to return the product. So you have on AliExpress, you can do disputes, try to get some of the product costs back, but then you're going to have inventory sitting at your home that's taking up space, and, you know, you can sell it in different areas, but, you know, at that point, you know, it's been opened, it's been worn, you can't sell it as new, it's got to be used. It becomes exponentially more difficult to sell that product. So, you know, you need to have a path to you know, offload this product that you get returned from the customer if it's in good shape. You know, there's a lot of things you need to consider, especially with returns, because you don't have a warehouse, and if you do, great, but, you know, don't really need one if you're drop shipping. You know, from another country. So, you know, just make sure that you have a good outlined, detailed execution plan of execution that you have for, you know, your products that, you know, get returned.
So, in short, Amazon is stressful. You know, it's not near as carefree as everyone says it is. You know, there's a lot of sleepless nights where you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not making sales today, or oh my gosh, what happened? You know,
it's a conspiracy see Amazon's out to get us.
They're out to get us, you know. Oh my God, they capped us at $2,000 in sales a day. Why? We still had ad spend. It was $2,000. We only did $2,000 a day, Dan.
Yep.
Why?
What happens?
Stupid stuff like that, you know. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
It is.
But I mean, you know, we sit there. There's a lot of times where we have to, you know, we constantly have to do new products. You know, we have to upload this. Let's say, you know, there's one supplier, and we literally have products that only one supplier has.
Yep.
He's the only supplier that has it, you know. So guess what? If that dude disappears, that product disappears, you know. And if that dude disappears overnight and you have orders, what are you gonna do? You know. So those are things that you guys have to consider. You know, with drop shipping, you know, you don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. I mean, not drop. I'm sorry. With FBA, with FBA, you don't have to worry about a lot of those things. But with drop shipping, you have to be on your toes all the time. Yeah. With FBA, you can make good money, but you have to have multiple products. You're not gonna do, you know, $100,000 a month with just one product. And if you do, you're one of the lucky few, and you have to make sure that, you know, your product is the only one on the planet of this that can ever be made because you have it patented and trademarked and all this other stuff, which probably isn't going to happen.
Or eventually bring distribution in-house instead of drop shipping, because that's, you can't have that problem where you're selling something like hotcakes and it disappears. Yeah,
and then you have drop shipping, where, you know, there's a lot of moving parts. You know, there's suppliers and lead times and shipping times and this and this and this and this and this, and you know, it can be confusing. You know, there's times where, you know, where I've literally forgotten to place an order, you know, or I've not necessarily forgotten, I've overlooked it because, you know, there's so many sales coming in that day, you know, where you're like, oh my God, you know, there's 100 sales today. It's a good thing to have,
but it's a lot of orders.
You know, I think when we first started doing like 50, 60 sales a day, I think that's where it got me, where like I missed, you know, one or two. And then there's other one where, you know, he came and was like, yo, what happened with this order? You know, I'm trying to put the shipping information in because it should have already shipped. And when you're looking through all hundreds, if not thousands of orders at this point, you're like, you know, oh my God,
I missed one, and we need to ship it by tomorrow, or it's a late shipment. Oh,
Amazon's gonna ding us, and this and that. So there's all types of things that you have to, you know, look out for, man. Yeah, it's stressful. We're not even gonna lie. Amazon, the beast that is Amazon, that is selling on Amazon, is stressful. Mm-hmm. You know, it's very stressful. You'll lose sleep over it, lose your sanity over it. Mm-hmm. You know, not even gonna joke with you guys, and that is the truth.
What's the reason why we work together? You know, it's always good to have a good trusted business partner, somebody that you know, we trust each other. We split the business in half, almost essentially equally, and you know that we highly recommend if you have somebody that you're willing, you know, and that helps with, you know, initial capital investment as well. You know, we both put in a significant portion of our own money to start this up, and you know, that's something that you should definitely consider doing, because eventually you're going to get to the point where it's going to grow and grow and grow, and you can't do it all by yourself. You know, running the business, the finances, and you know, ordering products, marking them shipped, and dealing with customers. It's a lot of work for one person to do. I know we wouldn't be able to do it alone. So
no, at this level, you know, we would, if he was just doing it on his own, he'd still have to have assistants, accountants, all this other stuff.
People you got to pay.
And just people you got to pay. So now you're cutting into your profits, you know, and that's what, you know, the truth really is. You know, it's not as seamless as everyone makes it sound. You know, it's not just, oh, set it and forget it and you're done. It's not get rich quick. It doesn't work that way. You will not get rich quick with this. Like, if you guys are thinking that you're just going to turn a quick buck, I'm sorry. It's not in the wrong arena. You're in the wrong arena. You know, if you're in this to create a business and create value, because creating a business is not necessarily the same as creating value. You have to create a business that creates value. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to create a business and then that's it. You know, you have to provide value. That's the only way your business is going to thrive, and that's the only way that you're going to do, you know, above your business peers. And we provide value, so that's why our business does better than some of our friends' business. That's why, you know, we have people that come to us. That's why we can coach. That's why we can consult. You know, I mean, we're spreading ourselves thin because we're doing so many things, and it's difficult to interact with all of you. Like, we get tons of messages and tons of comments and stuff, and that's another thing that people don't talk about. When you start doing really well on Amazon, you know, you will become the de facto subject matter expert on all things, you know, selling on Amazon. And that's what's happened to us with, you know, with our friends and with, you know, students, you know, like clients that are paying us to do all this. With you guys, you know, people don't see that. People don't see the hundreds of emails that, you know, hundreds of emails and messages that we get from people. You know, we haven't even been on YouTube that long, but, you know, people are viewing us and they may not be subscribers, which is okay, but they just want to reach out and like, look, I'm trying to do this on Shopify, or I'm trying to do this on Amazon.
Help me.
Can you help me? Can you do this? And, you know, if I'm with a a client in person. I can't just drop everything to answer, an email. Might have to answer it later and then do follow-up. And, that's one of the other difficult things about becoming successful with Amazon, about, doing the $2,000-$3,000 a day on Amazon. You become that subject matter expert. It's the same reason that you have consulting hours and consulting fees, because you can't possibly reach everyone that just wants free knowledge. It doesn't work that way. It's time consuming. Amazon in itself is time consuming, and then the knowledge that you learn is time consuming too, because you have to share it with people. Before my sister passed away, she told me a couple things, and one of the biggest things was you're supposed to use your knowledge for the good of all humanity. And whether you're selling knowledge or consulting or giving it away for free, you have to give some form of exchange back to the people that are supporting you. And that's what we do. We try our hardest to give back to friends, family, customers, our suppliers, everyone that's involved in this whole thing, in this whole Amazon game. But we can't possibly do it for everyone, and that's something you guys need to remember. You guys that are watching right now, there may be one of you who's on the cusp of a breakthrough, and you guys start doing $2,000-$3,000 a day. Congratulations, you guys are now the subject matter expert for all your friends and peers. Guess who's going to hit you up? All of them. They're going to be asking you how to do it. Hey, can you help me? Guess what? All the emails, all this stuff. You guys are going to have less time than you realize, because you are now the expert. The same as we became when we became successful, as people saw it.
It's hard to balance it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Another quick truth: people will look at you like you're stupid when you tell them you're selling on Amazon.
Like what? Why?
Yeah, stupid.
What
Shut up.
benefit do you have?
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
Lots of naysayers.
Lots of naysayers. And then when you prove them wrong, they're the ones who are coming to you trying to suck up all of your free time. The few hours that you get between placing orders and talking to suppliers. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's easy, but not easy at the same time. The system that we have set up is easy enough to follow. It's just time consuming.
But it's the most satisfying feeling in the world to create something from the ground up, to make it successful. And you always wonder, when do I consider myself successful? When have I made it? And it's not about owning a Lamborghini or taking a trip to Fiji. It's about understanding that you've done something that a lot of people just can't do. You're selling. Somebody is trusting their money for goods that you're through goods that you're selling to them, and you're making money. You're bringing in money. At the end of the day, your business is, like I said before, 24/7, 365. It's a constant running machine. It's a well-oiled machine, and it's going to take care of you if you take care of it. You can go to bed at night knowing that you're running a business. You're successfully running a business, and it's nothing quite like it. It's so satisfying.
I love it. It's amazing. That's it, guys. That's the real truth.
It's the truth.
That is the truth on Amazon. Broke down from start to finish. I'm pretty sure there's some things that we left out, but those are a lot of the issues that we've come into, a lot of the pitfalls that we've had, and luckily we've been able to overcome them and
you will too.
Being successful.
You will too.
You guys are the same thing. You just have to be smart about it. You just have to give it 110%. Every single day. Because selling on Amazon doesn't stop when you go to sleep. It's continuous.
Yeah, it keeps going. You're going to get sales every hour of the day.
Yeah, hopefully you get sales every
hour.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah.
You eventually might make it there.
Yeah, you eventually might make it there, but not at first. As usual, we do the giveaways every single week. Every week, guys. Get in the Facebook group. We're doing giveaways every single week for you. We give back to you guys. We enjoy interacting with you. We enjoy talking e-commerce, but sometimes it gets a little bland. We got to spice it up. Give you guys some stuff. Give you some gifts. And keep things fresh.
We're all about giving back.
Case in point, link in the description for our console giveaway. Every 500 subscribers, we're giving away a console. Guys, it is that easy. All you have to do is like and subscribe. It is not that difficult. That's it. We're not asking for you guys to go climb, Everest. All we're asking for is that, hey, if you guys like our content and support us, and guess what? We're going to give back to you.
Give back to you.
So you could be the winner. You could be the winner, of the first 500 or the second 500. At that point, it'd be 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever. You guys have an opportunity to win absolutely free. There's no catch. One thing we would just, like for you to do, if you are the winner, make sure you take a picture and post it on social media or something, or do an unboxing video on YouTube. Like, yo, man, these guys, they gave
us a review.
They gave it to me for absolutely free. Hook it up. So with that being said, guys, man, keep dominating on Amazon. Enjoy. Peace out.